Within days of his coronation, Aegon's armies were on the march again. The greater part of his host crossed the Blackwater Rush, making south for Storm's End under the command of Orys Baratheon. Queen Rhaenys accompanied him, astride meraxes of the golden eyes and silver scales. The Targaryen fleet under Daemon Velaryon left Blackwater Bay and turned north for Oldtown and the Vale. With them went Queen Visenya and Hagar. The king himself marched northwest to the God's Eye in Harrenhal, the gargantuan fortress that was the pride and obsession of King Harren the Black. All three of the Targaryen thrusts faced fierce opposition. Lords Aeron, Fell, and Buckler, bannermen to Storm's End, surprised the advance elements of Orys Baratheon's host as they were crossing the Windwater, cutting down more than 1,000 men before fatting back into the trees. A hastily assembled Arryn fleet, augmented by a dozen Braavosi warships, met and defeated the Targaryen fleet in the waters off Oldtown. Amongst the dead was Aegon's admiral, Daemon Velaryon. Aegon himself was attacked on the south shore of the God's Eye, not once but twice. The Battle of the Reeds was a Targaryen victory, but they suffered heavy losses at the Wailing Willows when two of King Harren's sons crossed the lake in longboats with muffled oars and fell upon their rear. In the end, though, Aegon's enemies had no answer for his dragons. The men of the Vale sank a third of the Targaryen ships and captured near as many. But when Queen Visenya descended upon them from the sky, their own ships burned. Lords Aeron, Fell, and Buckler hid in their familiar forests until Queen Rhaenys unleashed meraxes, and a wall of fire swept through the woods, turning the trees to torches. And the victors at the Wailing Willows, returning across the lake to Harrenhal, were ill-prepared when Valyrian fell upon them out of the morning sky. Harren's longboats burned, so did Harren's sons. Aegon's foes also found themselves plagued by other enemies. As Argilac the Arrogant gathered his swords at Storm's End, pirates from the Stepstones descended on the shores of Cape Wrath to take advantage of their absence, and Dornish raiding parties came boiling out of the Red Mountains to sweep across the marches. In the Vale, young King Ronald had to contend with a rebellion on the Three Sisters, when the Sistermen renounced all allegiance to the Eyrie and proclaimed Lady Marla Sunderland their queen. Yet these were but minor vexations compared to what befell Harren the Black. Though House Hoare had ruled the Riverlands for 3 generations, the men of the Trident had no love for their iron-born overlords. Harren the Black had driven thousands to their deaths in the building of his great castle of Harrenhal, plundering the Riverlands for materials, and beggaring lords and smallfolk alike with his appetite for gold. So now the Riverlands rose against him, led by Lord Edmund Tully of Riverrun. Summoned to the defense of Harrenhal, Tully declared for House Targaryen instead, raised the dragon banner over his castle, and rode forth with his knights and archers to join his strength to Aegon's. His defiance gave heart to the other river lords. One by one, the lords of the Trident renounced Harren and declared for Aegon the Dragon. Blackwoods, Mallisters, Vances, Brackens, Pipers, Freys,